In the dormant town beneath a leaden sky and elongated shadows, residents awoke each night to an enigmatic sound. An old and strange sound, like a distorted song trapped in an endless loop. Few had the courage to open their windows and let their gaze sink into the desolate darkness stretching across the well-trodden streets. As expected in a town where daily routine had lost its contours, a small group of courageous inhabitants decided to seek the source of this mysterious song. Leading them was Alice, a brave and confident woman with an obsession for mysteries and a fervent sense of adventure. Together with George, a skeptical photographer, and David, a passionate mystery seeker, Alice embarked on a journey into the heart of darkness. Struggling to ignore the concerned glances of their neighbors, they began to follow the strange sound, which seemed to draw them into the depths of the wilderness. At first, their journey was sprinkled with strange occurrences, shadows dancing among the trees, strange sounds that seemed to slip through the aged buildings, and a cold wind making its presence felt even on a night that should have been calm. As they neared the source of the sound, the town seemed to transform into a frightening labyrinth, with streets and alleys merging into an endless network. When they reached an old and dilapidated building, the sound became stronger, and the atmosphere grew dense and charged with a dark energy. Climbing the rusty stairs with hesitation, the group discovered a dark room, illuminated only by a flickering bulb. In the center of the room, an old retro-looking radio emitted the strange sound. Alice and her two companions stared in amazement, unable to comprehend how a simple radio could produce such a terrifying song. With each passing moment in that dark room, the sound grew in intensity. As Alice tried to touch the radio, an unseen force seemed to bind their hands, preventing them from stopping the mysterious song. In the flickering light of the bulb, the outlines of shadows merged with the darkness, creating a terrifying spectacle. Eventually, the sound ceased, and the room filled with silence. Alice and her comrades realized they were not the only ones who had heard the song. In every corner of the town, people emerged from their homes with vacant stares and empty eyes. Each had listened to the song, and now they were all accomplices to something horrifying. As the nights passed, the town became increasingly entrenched in an eerie state. People walked the streets like purposeless shadows, and the only sound that remained was the echoing footsteps of their empty wanderings. Desperate, Alice and her company tried to find a solution, but despite all their efforts, the town seemed to sink deeper into a sinister lethargy. Eventually, Alice realized that the answer was not in stopping the sound, but in understanding its source. With this conviction, she led her comrades into the depths of the town, searching for clues and hidden signs that would reveal the true nature of the malevolent song. One night, they discovered an old underground cavern that seemed to hide the answers they sought. As they entered the cavern, the sound increased in intensity, transforming into a dark choir of distorted voices. In the dim light of lanterns, they saw shadows dancing on the walls, influenced by a sinister ritual. In the center of that chamber, an ancient artifact that seemed to emit the malevolent sound was discovered, an old and mysterious object connected to ancient times and unknown powers. Alice felt that the answer to this enigma lay in a deeper understanding of the ancient forces within the artifact. Together with George and David, she attempted to decipher the meaning of this ancestral object and find a way to stop the song that had taken hold of their dormant town. As they approached the truth, the town seemed to react to their efforts. Shadows began to retreat, and people regained their consciousness, though with their gaze still lost in the strange horizon. The mysterious sound started to fade, but it did not disappear entirely. In the end, Alice and her comrades chose to keep the artifact under their guard, in a safe and isolated place. However, the shadows and the strange sound did not vanish completely. They knew their dormant town had yet to fully recover, but for the moment it would regain its peace and mental health. Thus the story concluded, but the shadows of the past continued to hover in the depths of the town, and Alice, George, and David knew they had to remain vigilant, ready to defend their community against any danger that might arise from the darkness of the past.